Good Easter morning to you. This is going to be a pretty quick little lesson here. And I need to go up to on left and new drills where I'm listening to. This is the timber frame that shouldn't have a 60 in it. That's a checkered line. So I'll get rid of that. So, yesterday, what is today? Today's Saturday? Not Sunday, so Friday, I met with the timber framer and I got a new post layout from him for a sidewall that will reflect the other side. So I'll make those changes to the plan. And next, I have some major changes and a lot more information on the layout of bent. And for those of you learning timber frames, is I am a lot with this gentleman. The bent is the kind of the center structure, the big arched part of a timber structure that's typically associated with the cathedral ceiling. The real main beautiful portion of a timber frame is called the bent. And so basically a section cut of the actual main piece. And I don't believe that a full section that also in this case shows the side wing walls or wings out of it is part of that bent, but they would be more like sub bents. But I'm not entirely sure. I'd have to get clarification from Jesse. So here I have the floor plan that we did in the last lesson. And then in the drawing stuff, I have the bed layout and the post layout. So let's first take a look at this post layout. And so what this represents is this front wall is, it's going to be the wall on the, going from the front left corner of the drawing that we have going up to the back left corner. And then it'll mirror to the other side. So this is where the main garage door will be placed. And this just gives us our layout for that. So I'm going to pull it to the side so I can see it. Use the dimensions to go from as I lay this out one more time. And so what I can probably, well, without losing association, I guess I may not do that, but well, let's see if it's associated. So if I drag this, not the easiest thing to drag is maybe the best route. I guess I could. So I have 11.4 and I need to get to 14.4. So I need 3 more feet onto this one. So let's just stretch it. Let's stretch the whole thing. 3 feet. 36 enter. And I should have 14.4 clear. And that matches the drawing from Jesse. That's that first one there. So next I have, let's see, this is 14.8 and I'm showing 15.8 clear. So I need to stretch this back. Oops, I just killed off something on my other side there, but need to stretch this from here back 12 inches. And that should leave us 14.8 clear. Oh, he's 14.8 to center. So it's 14.4 clear. So I need to stretch that another 4 inches. So let's stretch that over 4. Now I'm 14.4 clear. And that leaves 11.4 clear. If it was a 44 out to out structure, which is what we want. So here I'm short. So he wants from center here out to the edge to be 14. So that would be about 13 feet because I've got 8 and 4, so 12 inches. So this needs to be 13 feet. So it needs to be 1 foot 8 stretch of that. 1 foot 8 enter. And 13 foot clear between the posts. So that should be what we're looking for. And if I want to match his drawing in particular, I would dimension it different, but I don't. This is odd. Okay, so the overall should be 44 feet. And CAD doesn't lie. Let me check. He's got 14.4 clear, 14.4 clear. Then he did erase it, but it looks like he had 13.8 clear in here. And that wouldn't make sense. So I think he still might be working out his math. So I probably just need to point that out. We aren't going to necessarily draw this side of the section at this point. It's going to be pretty quick lesson on just getting the big changes to this section. We won't be too worried about this yet. I might squish it in just to, I mean, there's a whole lot out here that has no relevance. And I'd like to ask some questions about, let's say, just where this lands. So if I were to take this and just stretch it from there to perpendicular to this blue guy, it'll end up way back there. That means all of these minus that can go, and then I can move this over. I'll have to check my directions, my post locations, so I don't line up anymore. In fact, I can see they don't. So there's a little bit of work to do on this, but more interested in getting this guy right. And his drawing here is a little bit more involved. And I don't think I can. No, I can't. So I'll double click on that and let's bring that over. We can get a good look at it. And there, he did state that there's still a little bit in flux, mainly where this girt is going to sit. He's not completely sure of what he's going to do there. I'm going to pause and get my highlighter going. I just realized that. So with that going, hopefully it's easier to see. Yellow and white, not great, but hopefully easier. So we've got an overall, we're going to try and hit at 25 foot 2 inches. Josie, obviously, here's the scale. He's doing this stuff by hand. He's got to rely on working out all the math in his head, um, or at the very least on a piece of paper. And so it is kind of nice to draw it in CAD and catch some things like we did in the numbers that don't translate quite from the post separations that he has drawn. But I think that once we get some more information from Josie, he'll get that straightened out for us. So I'm going to take a look at this, going through that drawing that I've got over here. And our main element is really this height to the top of this post is the kind of the big setting factor in this whole thing. And as you can see right here, this line goes here. This is 18 feet tall. And then I have an 8 and 12 pitch. I have a seat here with a little cut on it. And if you've seen his joinery, this is really kind of cool how he does this. And there's even a little knife edge that's interior of this that he puts the mortise through. And so this is, it says 6-inch minimum. So I won't know the exact height of that. And so we'll draw it at 6 inches. Then we'll do the 8 and 12. And we'll kind of just lay it out from there, not knowing the total true height, with the exception of, let's see, if this is 310 and that's truly 4.4, then it's going to be 6 inches. So that should tell us quite a bit. So I'm going to come in here and just start editing some of this stuff by, I think the best way might be to freeze these dimensions for now, and then come back to them instead of trying to shift them all around as we go because they're just gonna walk all over each other. So I'll hit my freeze command, freeze those guys. Those can stay on, they won't hurt a thing. Now let's just put in an X line on the junk layer horizontally and drop it on this floor. And let's set our post height for this main post here at 18 feet. Boom, it's there. So we're still in agreement on that. This is an 8 and 12 pitch. And I believe I drew this to be a 6. That is 6 inches. So far we are in exact agreement with what he has going. Now, in his drawing, this knee brace drops down 3 feet. And then it's probably at 45 degrees. And so we can assume that it's going to be 3 feet over as well. And get a correction, I guess, if we're wrong. And apparently he didn't buy the material to do the curves in the barn. And I'm sure it's just a matter of money. And I can't scale off of Josie's drawing, so I have to make some assumptions on what this is. So if I measure my distance here, perpendicular, I've got a 6x6, which is a very common piece now that I've got to know him. And I'll get rid of that. So if I check this distance from here to here, and if that's 3 feet, it's 3.6. So I'm going to move this up 6 inches. 6, and I'm going to move it over 6. And that's getting pretty small, but I think he's working on trying to make sure that this door fits in here. So the distance from there to there now, oh, it's 2.6. And the distance from here to here is 2.6. So let's undo that. So what was I getting? I must have grabbed the wrong spot. There to there. Oh, okay. I see what's going on. I must have done a measurement here, or I don't have 45 degrees. Yeah, see, that's 3.6. This is not 3.6. So, oh, it is. Let's just move it up 6 inches. And then this should be, if it's at 40 degrees, 3 feet. But it is. Okay. We'll trim that back. I don't know what I was thinking, but we got it straightened out now. He has this piece coming up quite a bit higher here. And so I think what he did was probably raise the whole system. And so, in fact, I can see it now. Just remembering our top of, let's see, top of post was 9.3. He moved it to 9.6. So it's not that much higher. Well, let's see what we get. And is this still 12 feet? So the distance from the outside of that post to the outside of this post is still 12 feet. Okay. And then this should be 20 feet across. And then it's just mirrored to the other side. So those two are correct. So if I take my red line here and I offset it 9'6", 9'6", I'm going to end up here. So I can move that and that. I can take this with it because he did stay with a 4 and 12 pitch. I'm going to grab those guys and then we're going to move it up to there. And we can delete that line. And whatever this, oh, he said that this was going to come to a point at this location, not out here. So I need to move this system down. And that just does not equate with his drawing at all. Okay, so let's do his ladder here. And let's see what we've got. So this patio is dropped. So just so you know, it's dropped 2 inches. So Don't think that that's the floor. This is the floor where this red line is. So maybe we should get this storage pole straightened out as soon as we can. So we'll offset a 9'6" and put that line back in. And then we're going to offset from that. Well, we'll offset again from this bottom for his drawing. It is 10'2", and that's to there. So the distance between there and there is 8 inches. So his member that's going to go through here is going to be that 8 by. You can only assume an 8 by 8. Typically, from what I've seen, I haven't seen him place anything wider than it is tall. So then he has this piece moved down, and it should hit according to his drawing here. So you can see I've got the 9'6", then 10'2" to get to the top. That's the 8 inches, so all that works out. This is where we may have an issue. So he's showing a 14'2". And this can be hand draft and get you in trouble. So I'll set 14'2", and let's drop it up there. But it looks like it's gonna hit. We'll see. So don't discount his skills before he's completed this. There, down, and it nailed it. So nice job, Joseph. So what I don't understand is you can see that this is hitting below my knee brace here. But when I look at his drawing, what's confusing is I do have my 18-foot at the top. Oh, I went 3 down. I need to see where I've got this located. This needs to be off the slab, 15'6". That could be what's throwing me. So yeah, this is all the way at the top. So that is my error, not Josie's, that's for sure. So offset 15'6". So that's where this beam's gonna move to. So I'm gonna move that, this, bring this with it, and I'm gonna go from here to here. And that looks like he's drawing. This is now below where this hit. So we're getting close to what he's got. Now, these don't extend beyond. I'm gonna erase. Actually, let's undo that. Let's trim it to here and just have those red lines stop out there for now, because I'll bring all my elevation markers to that and keep this line drawing going to match the way that Joseph's looks. So this is 15'6". This is all brought down to there now. And so what happens here is that this is inside. It's inside of here. And this goes away because we're just going to mirror the standard knee brace over. And then my 18-foot, let's just check this distance again. That's 19'6" to that. Okay, so that was a totally different measurement of it. Adding the 4'4". So 18 foot to the top of this. Let's see what this is. This should be right. Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm just going to mirror that top piece around here. And there we go. Now, this whole roof system lowers down to sit 6 inches above this guy. So I'm gonna grab all of this. These are all gonna be wrong. Let's just work on this side. We'll mirror it over. So let's move all these. We're gonna end this. And I'm gonna move them. These blue ones are center lines. I'm gonna move it from here to here. And I'm gonna move I'm gonna hit enter to do the same command, P for previous, move those same objects back up that 6 inches that he's calling for, and I will show that to you. Hold on. Move the previous from there. I didn't grab my base point. Top 6. Okay. Now this is going to come down and hit just like he's shown, and you can see that here. So what I did is I grabbed this piece, I dropped it, and then I moved it back up this 6-inch min, which is probably about impossible. There we go. 6-inch min. You can see that guy there. And now we'll make this joint up here look proper, and these should all be working out. We can double check this ridge when we get done and see if it's 25 too. This girt, I've got some explaining to do, but that one is tough for me. I don't know that I fully understand what he wants there. I'm going to trim this down. It looks like this one is going to extend now. I don't know where this is placed, to be honest. I have no dimension for this location horizontally. So I should probably just put a question mark in there. Although he drew this to scale. So my picture's probably a little whacked. I didn't square it up. It's not a scan. I could try and underlay it, see if I could square it up enough and see how well I did at taking the picture and try and scale off of to get this distance. But if I were to lay it under there, straighten it, tilt it, and get it all right, and then I find that I have converging lines because maybe my camera was not positioned directly over this piece of paper, then I'm not going to get an accurate reading here. So it'd be best to just ask that question. So we'll find a place that looks proportionate to what he's got going, and then we'll change to match whatever he wants in the end. So let's get this bottom part worked out. It seems like we have this top part, except the location of this worked out. Let's just do this guy. These are 2/6, and he gave me a height on this girt. This one's hard to explain, but it almost cuts completely through this post. And it's 8 inches tall, only 6 inches deep, but it's only gonna leave 2 inches of wood here. Now it's filling it back up, but it turns this into a little bit of a hinge, depending on how he does his mortise and tenon, which I can't say that I completely understand it. And we are getting mortise here, one here, one here. We're creating a triangle around this thing. So it certainly is going to help strengthen it back up. But it's a pretty big breakdown of this post. So that needs to be definitely investigated. So now that I have this down here and it's getting pretty set as to where it's going to be, I'm going to say that a 10-foot precut's not going to work in here because it's not going to be able to plane out. This means we'll have to cut a little bit off, drop the wood a little bit. So it's not a detrimental factor. So now let's trim that, and I do have a white line there, so I can trim to this white line, that one, and trim, no, that one doesn't go there. Trim to here, that one, that. Okay, so I can see that this is drawn underneath there, and what I was after. You can bring it to front if you want. I don't get perfect success with that at all times. Don't know if it's my video card that causes the issue or what, but he's got this marked as about 1'6", so about 18 inches. Yeah, 1'6". And so as far as I can see, that is correct. I don't know what this line is drawn in here for at this point in time, except, oh, it was the extra 6 inches. So he's got a hidden line back here for some reason. So I'm going to move this down that 6 inches. And then I'm going to just grab it, pull it across to the 8, go to the other side, pull it across the 8. And I'm just going to turn it into a hidden line. So it turns dashed like what he's got in this drawing in case he wants it for some sort of reference. He doesn't really want to work with my CAD drawings at all. So, but it does help with my conversations with structural engineer and with just the the fisher. So he has this 11 feet off the ground. We're gonna have this top of girt, and then 8 inches back down with the 6x8. Remember, all this is true lumber, so it's not nominal. So 6x8 is actually 6 foot 8 inches. So zoom in on this area, offset 11 feet. Oh, I must not have grabbed it. Offset 11 feet, enter, up, and that did end up in here. Man, it's low. Distance B, there, that's 11 feet. Okay, I'm gonna offset, and I'll show you what I mean. Offset 8, and then let's offset 6. And then let's draw a rectangle from here to here, and we'll take this guy and just change it to the object layer. So it's becoming our girt. And this can be blue. And so what I do with that is I just put on the D-hatch layer. Everything in these elevation sections, whatever, they all just go to the D layers, the drawing layers. This line width doesn't really have a layer per se. So there's that guy. Now I can erase this, I can erase that. And that's my girt. And see this small distance right there? That little guy? Now this is truly 11 feet, and I'll get all dimension in here. But his drawing, it looks quite a bit different off of here. I don't think that is correct. And in here. And then we'll get this information over to Chelsea so he can check his work. It is nice to have somebody looking at your stuff. I love it when people look at my stuff because I make mistakes too. And I really like it when builders come in and they give me a good RFI package. And there's just some intelligent questions on there that say, hey, what's going on here we don't understand. And typically is, I find it to be that I've got something drafted incorrectly or wasn't getting something through. Typically it's something of that nature that's pulling apart. So I'm going to pull his 18-inch dimension way out, just like he has it, so that this starts to look kind of like his own drawing, and I can just show it to him. Now this has the actual 18-inch top of floor. So what I'm concerned with is just that one area that was just pointed out. So, and that was the fact that this is too close to this portion when I make it 11 feet. So what I want to do is I want to do mesh properties on my dimension style and put that there. There's the 11 foot as he has it drawn, and then back down 8 inches, and it doesn't work. So here, he has this dimensioned out, and just do MA dimension that. You can show he has that the way he wants it. Then he has from the 18, he has a 4 dimension goes from here to here. So I wouldn't normally like crossing lines on my dimensions, but to make sure that he and I are on the same page, I'm going to drop that in there. And I want to see all these dimensions that look just like his. There's that 4'4", the 3 foot. I'm up with this 10 in there, I guess. 11. Now, that 10, let's do that right now, because that's where our issue is. So if I go dimension from here to the top of this guy, and then I come out, and he's got it drawn about in here somewhere. And then I match properties. This is not going to be 10 inches. That's 18 inches. So that's where I think the 11 feet, I think is just not, I think the dimension he has in there is incorrect. I think he drew what he wanted, but he accidentally dimensioned it incorrectly. So it'll be 6 inches higher than what he's got shown here. Now I bring it to, no, 8 inches higher. So it'd be 10 inches down. And that would look more correct. So let's copy this up 10 inches. So that's where I think he meant it to be. And so if I wanted, I could, no, let's not do that. Let's just leave that there until we find out what's going on. Now that I'm starting to get more and more information here, I can probably drag some of these guys over to show what's going on. And what is this guy? Finished floor. Don't know what I was dimensioning first round with that. Looks like I've got quite a few that I need to clean up. So this will be just a matter of, okay, this is the, and I should change the name of this. This should be at the end here. So I go end and then right, caps lock, timber, right. Because this is going to be my dimensions of the timber frame, right? So I'll move this down, correct it. And so this line here, move it from there down to here. And then I'll look back in with it. Beautiful. So what I do want to do is I want to move this from here to perpendicular with that guy. Oh, didn't work. I couldn't see my perpendicular line. So let's move that from there perpendicular to that. There. Now, what I do is that 26.2, I'm going to take a distance from here, which is that 0, 0 point, come up to here. Then if I come down to this guy, I grab that number, 25'2". Control C, it matches his, Control C. And then I'll come in here, and this is just going to go down a foot. So I'll take this, and I always label ridges about. Now on his timber frame, it's going to be probably pretty darn exact. But ridges outside of the timber frame, up here with the framing material and the ridge cap and all that goes, I label those about. So this really, I don't even need the about symbol. This is the actual timber itself, so got confidence he's going to hit really, really close to that. What this is going to is irrelevant at this point. So we'll see what we're looking at. I have a jack post. So this is going to the center line of the jack post. So I'll have to determine where that hits, which is down here. So I just move this up until it penetrates there. Now I can move that from there to there. And then this guy, if I stretch it, we still end up with a 16th inch. I love it when I get rid of 16ths, but doesn't always work out. Now my heel's off and on and on. So I'm just going to run these straight on down, correct all these out, and then I will be back.
So my earphone cut out there. Hopefully I heard right when it happened. So I've got this mirrored around, and now I have found that this wasn't mirroring to the outside, showing me that I was on each corners. I heard you, but I'm recording. I could hear her voice. I'll be down just a minute. Let me finish up for a minute. Now that I come down to my, we just mirror. For some reason this thing is just shut off on me again, and now it's not. Okay. Let's make sure that my space bar is not cutting this off. So in case that didn't get recorded, I just quickly got all this fill it all the way around. I could finish this off a little bit by thin that out and then trim between these. Trim that side and down, and then I like to break these. Just because these are different lemons, the blue and the white. And I'll over here and extend it. Looks like that one. Weird spot. Didn't break right on the line. This one's neither. And then I just match properties on the front part. There. And now that that is set, I can go back to my working, make a quick loop, save, and I showed that this was the distance 3/4 for real statins outside of this panel, which is just a half-inch panel. And so the panel is this line that we just put on the floor plan. So if I do X out, we drop that there. I could drop it lower and just, I can mirror it too. So it's not showing up yet. So I don't think my XREF is updated. Reload, there it is. So, but this one's good. So I come down and it's off. So I want to move that and that. Because I know my half-inch and I know that's right. And I'll figure out what's going on here. That's the 3/4 I can tell. Just move that from here to here. And then this should be 3 for me. And it's 3.5. So I've got a half-inch discrepancy somewhere. So I will have to figure that out. And I've got people arriving, so I'm gonna let this lesson end. But it's looking pretty well here. This is what our section looks like, and this is what our floor plan looks like. And I'm hitting all the dimensions that were specified by the timber frame so far. So it's in great shape. If I save over here, I will save, and then I will come back in with that line. In fact, one thing I like to do sometimes is kind of just come into here, annotate, grab this little cloud deal, and remind yourself, and got some sort of problem here. And there you go. There's a cloud note saved, and